We are Iowa's most accurate forecast.
If you're a fan of maybe April weather more so than May or June weather, you're going to continue to like the forecast this week. It's going to be a little cooler than normal for this time of the year, but fairly pleasant conditions over the next few days. Now, it is cool enough, even though we are past Mother's Day, there is potential for a little frost in parts of Iowa tonight and then again on Tuesday night. That is not going to be a widespread problem. Probably not an issue for us in Des Moines. In fact, I'm not going to cover my plants here in Des Moines, but in rural, low-lying areas, that is a possibility the next couple of nights. Dry weather for the majority of us all the way through Thursday, and then we trend toward a wetter pattern late this week, through the weekend, and maybe even early next week as well. But looking pretty sunny out there right now, 58 degrees in Des Moines. Northwest winds are light at 5 miles per hour. We're mainly looking at 50s, although southeast Iowa trickling into the low 60s in a couple of spots like Ottumwa and Oskaloosa. I expect clouds to be increasing over the next couple of hours, so middle of the afternoon might be fairly cloudy. We see this often. We get the clouds to pop up in the afternoon and then they kind of fizzle out in the evening. That's exactly what we're expecting today. But with that cloud cover developing, we're probably not going to warm up too much more. High temperatures forecast to be in the low 60s in most spots. 60 today in Fort Dodge, 62 in Pocahontas, and 59 in Hampton. We'll get to about 60 in Marshalltown, 63 in Boone, and around 62 degrees in Audubon. Southern Iowa, same story, 62 in Sheridan and 63 your forecast high in Creston. Our high yesterday in Des Moines was 62, so if you thought yesterday was pretty nice, then you'll probably be okay with what comes our way later on this afternoon. Not too different tomorrow, 62 the high in Des Moines and Ames, maybe a little bit more cloud cover down south, might keep you closer to 60 in Lamoni and Creston, and then we're back to the middle 60s on Wednesday. Hey, the good news, the wind is not going to be too bad the next few days, due in part to high pressure kind of lingering over the Midwest, so it may get up to 15 miles per hour at times this afternoon out of the Northwest, 6 to 14 miles per hour on Tuesday, and back to 5 to 10 miles per hour on Wednesday. We had a few showers up in northern Iowa this morning. Those have drifted into east central, northeast Iowa. They are isolated. They are light. Most of us are dry for the time being. Spotty showers and perhaps a rumble of thunder or two are possible, mainly in east central and northeast Iowa during the afternoon and the early evening. Chances of that affecting western Iowa are pretty low, but if you're east of I-35, a brief shower is possible during this afternoon and the early evening hours. And as you can see, it's not going to amount to a whole lot at all. Less than 1/10 of an inch expected for the majority of Iowa with any rain that falls today. The bulk of the rain this week is going to stay well to our south in the southern plains over to the southeast. Most of the Midwest staying dry, and the reason for that is, as I mentioned, high pressure moving into the Midwest and really just camping out all week long. And this is actually originating from Canada. So not only is it bringing us quiet weather, but it's also bringing us cooler than normal weather for this time of the week. So if you're wondering why we are stuck in these 60s that we saw basically all of last week, and our forecast to stay in this week on the whole plumbing and heating 10-day forecast, that is why. That Canadian high pressure. Next good chance that showers and storms will be later in the day on Friday. Scattered activity this weekend and more possibilities early next week.